Let's get straight into the Demons, who have a problem on their hands. We know that, and we know that things have been brewing at this football club for some time. Damo, things went from bad to worse this week, particularly with the injury news surrounding that of Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, well, he's now officially out for the remainder of the season, Sam. It's a dead season now that they have only got the 10 wins to this point, and you can see the damage there to the knee and also ribs. And he has not been anywhere near himself. He was the storyline of the last off-season. He's part of the reason this football club keeps using the word culture. There are other reasons for it, but that is the update on today. And then we had also overnight being reported in the Age that Alex Neal-Bullen too wanted to leave the football club for family reasons. Just another layer of problems for this football club, which has already had issues to play out in the on-ball space, with Brayshaw being forced to retire, Petracca going down with an injury, a season-ending injury, and Oliver never hitting his straps.
So, Lordo, the report from the Age says that Alex Neal-Bullen wants to go home for family reasons. And it's got nothing to do with other things that are going on at the club. Do you believe that?
I believe it, Sam, but I just wonder whether it's the form on the field and some of the issues off the field makes it easier for someone like Alex Neal-Bullen to say, you know what, now is the right time for me to go. Had they been knocking on the door for winning another premiership and maybe another one next year, you'd say, geez, can I don't know Alex's situation, so you also always got to be careful. But in that situation, I think the Melbourne could be making it easier for players to want to leave or make the decision now to leave because of how poorly they're going. And just on Clayton Oliver, injuries come when you're not fit, when you don't get a good pre-season. You can't help ribs, but knees and other issues, hamstrings, they all start to go on you and challenge you.
But we knew this was a chance, didn't we, when he didn't have that pre-season?
And they let him play. And I just wonder whether there was some who thought they need to be harder on him. Some thought, no, he's done his penance, he should play. But I wonder if they should have made him do a longer, harder pre-season.
Well, they had an initial plan, didn't they, to leave him out for longer than they actually did, and they rushed him back for round one. And Sam, they've got an obsession with this word culture. We heard it just in the opener there. We'll hear it again now. This is Simon Goodwin today speaking about the myriad problems at his club.
We are a high-performing culture. Culture is something that's never complete, it's never finished, it's never perfect. You're always working on things. It doesn't mean you're not going to have things that are wrong and behaviours that you have to address and things that you need to get right. That's no different for any footy club. It's a word that gets thrown around really loosely, but what we have been able to produce here over a long period of time is a high-performing culture and one that will drive success.
It may well be a word that does get thrown around loosely, and some of the uses of the word by Simon Goodwin and other people at Melbourne Footy Club are when they are asked about the word itself, culture. But they volunteered the word culture, cultural or culturally 37 times in that interview that they chose to do in a pre-recorded fashion with SEN last year. Simon Goodwin, Gary Pert used that word 37 times in a 20-minute period. He's used it again today. Max Gawn has spoken about it. He spoke about it at the best and fairest. And I'd argue that the one way out of, or the starting point out of this mess that they're in, is to acknowledge that their culture is not good, to at least acknowledge that publicly and to stop defending itself and stop being so defensive about there being a good culture, because there's not. I mean, we've got the Clayton Oliver situation, we've got Christian Petracca, who Tom Morris reported on during the week, having disgruntled issues with the football club. He's the most active person on social media in his playing sense, and he has not yet chosen to refute any of that. So we take that as fact.
Do you think they have a poor culture?
I think they've got a questionable culture. I'm not saying they're the only club that's got a questionable culture, but they can't keep saying their culture's fine when it's not.
Just to paraphrase Simon Goodwin there, I think Max Gawn a bit in that play on Damo and Lloydie and everyone else on the panel. Sam, how are they different from any other club? So a bit of what they're saying is every club has issue. Some we're aware of, some are whispers, some are rumours, some are actually factual. How are Melbourne any different? It's just a different point of view.
Yeah, it's a fair question. Well, I would argue the Petracca element, it's now about 48 hours old since Tom Morris said that he's got issues with the club. He hasn't refuted that. The club itself tried to put water on that yesterday, but didn't deny any aspect of that. Clayton Oliver last year, his life off field was a circus, and they spoke to other clubs about the possibility of moving him out before it even started a 7-year contract extension. You've got Joel Smith, who is facing drug charges, Jimmy, under the auspices of the performance enhancement.
All stuff I don't disagree with, but I'm just trying to look at it from Melbourne's point of view. The fact that players ask for trades, towards the end of the season, players are floated.
Not club grades.
No, but
not guys with 4 years left on a contract.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to look at it from a different point of view.
Yeah,
the fact that there's always issues that come up at football clubs.
It was a fascinating story that Tom Morris reported on Nine News during the week about Christian Petracca. To Damo's point, it wasn't really refuted. Those frustrations were put to Simon Goodwin today, and he did talk about that with Christian Petracca.
I've had conversations, open conversations with Christian regularly, and I think people seem to parcel frustrations and tension up as a negative. It's actually a positive. And you'd be surprised if you walk into an environment of a footy club. These conversations happen weekly. Clayton Oliver and Christian Petracca will be at the footy club next year. I can guarantee they'll be running around in red and blue jumpers.
So you've got trade requests with Alex Neal-Bullen. You've got trade rumours being denied, both with Christian Petracca and with Clayton Oliver. And then you've got this from Cal Toomey at AFL.com today. And, you know, any byline that you see, Cal Toomey's everything is 100% right. The uncertainty facing Melbourne's off-season has thrown Dan Houston's move to the D's into question. So it's got players arguably wanting out, players rumours being rejected, or at least having to be rejected, and now potentially, Lloydie, players not wanting to go.
Yeah, and it's what Simon Goodwin says there. That's just got head in the sand stuff. He's saying that it's a positive that things come up. It's a positive if you do something about it. But
you think they're not?
I just think that this time, the interview Damo speaks about on SEN, he said, I can say as much as you want, but it's all about actions. You judge us on actions. And then another season goes by, and I don't think it's any clearer.
They've got a shocking run with injury, in fairness, but you're right.
But you can have injuries, but Christian Petracca would deal with injuries fine. Christian Petracca is not frustrated because of injuries. He's frustrated because he's an absolute winner, and he's frustrated that he thinks his club isn't going to get to where he wants to go to, and that's win another premiership. So that has nothing to do with injuries.
Do you think Melbourne need major change?
Yes,
in order to win another premiership?
Yeah, and I think that Simon Goodwin is on borrowed time. I'm talking this time next year if things don't improve.
Simon Goodwin's on borrowed time, the premiership coach from Melbourne.
Yes, I think he's got another 12 months, and if things don't improve, I think his job will be in question, yeah.
Wow.
And I think the review they're currently undertaking, it should include the board as well, Gary Pert, the chair. So